With Reset brings our final dungeon for Rise of the Nine, Prophecy. This dungeon has some dope loot tied to it, final collectibles to complete your triumphs for Ultimatum, Rise of the Nine, and their weapons. In today's video, we're going to go over the changes to each encounter and the strats you and your team should be using to make this as easy of a clear as possible. First encounter, the Phalanx Ekko, is known as the farm encounter historically. Well, with Rise of the Nine, that remains true. Team composition throughout pretty much the entire dungeon, I would recommend a Warlock, a Hunter, and a Titan. For this opening encounter, you'll want it to have a single Well of Radiance Warlock and a Thunder Crash, Bolt Charge, Barricade Titan. Third character can be an extra T-Crash as well, however, I would recommend a Invis Night Stalker Hunter. This allows for the Hunter to easily scoop up the motes and dunk them without fear of dying and keeping the team safe. The Tether during DPS makes the damage phase significantly quicker and easier and guarantees that one phase, which is what you're going to want to do. As far as changes, the only change has to do with the order you start for dunking the motes. At the start of the encounter, Tolan will spawn in the middle of the room. Once you go near Tolan, he'll move away and then go to one of the 4 locations, either light or dark. That is the first location you have to cleanse. Any other one and you will die. After you cleanse that initial first, you can cleanse in any order like normal. Not too much of a change, but something you have to keep in mind. Every damage phase, this will need to be done again to start cleansing plates in the order the game tells you to cleanse. For damage, the choice is Lord of Wolves again. Just plant the well and the Bolt Charge Barricade Titan will just plant their barricade right in front of them. Inside the well, you want to tether the floor next to the boss, not on the boss. Lord of Wolves will make for a very easy one phase every single time. If your tether does run out, you can always just toss on a weakening nade to extend that debuff, and then toss on a weakening smoke to extend that debuff for the entire damage phase, just to make sure your entire team can do the most damage possible. Doing this will make for a really easy one phase every single time. Once he's dead, simply pick up your loot, hop on the plate, and move on to the Wasteland. In the Wasteland, the objectives are still the same: go from location to location, clear the 3 blights to activate Tolan, then follow him to the next location. While in this section, don't forget to claim your first of the 2 collectibles as shown here. Once you've claimed all 3 Tolan locations, a boss will show up near the door to the cube room. Simply plant a Bolt Charge Barricade down and take him out pretty easily. Once he's down, you can move on to the cube room. Cube room is probably the one that will cause the most issues than others, as this is a long encounter to complete, especially with a 6-minute timer and only being able to lose 1 person to dying since you want to go for the gold completion. There's also an invincible knight similar to the one you used to see in Infinite Forest back in the day that will one-shot you, so don't try to tank it. Deal with this, being on the floor as little as possible is imperative. Simply let the Invis Hunter scoop up the motes and dunk them, so anyone else just hang out up on the top little platforms where you see the hobgoblin snipers. You want to post up 1 person on each side of the room so they can deal with the hobgoblins and then shoot the knights from above. Machine guns are amazing in here, but you definitely want to make sure you have Lord of Wolves equipped still for the final bosses. They don't hurt too bad and their stomps aren't super deadly, but Lord of Wolves will do a really good job on them. Keep them partially stunned. Don't forget the Barricade Titan as well. T-Crash is really good here. Geomax Chaos Reach is also really good here. Just making sure you have things ready to clear them out because you're still on that timer. Now once both are dead, the timer goes away, but you're not done yet. That knight that has been chasing you can now be dealt with. A Geomax Chaos Reach does insane damage to him, pretty much almost one-shot him by itself. That's definitely what you should use, as it's a safe bet to take him out and still get gold for this encounter. Once he's down, cube room is gold, cube room is done. Grab your loot and move on to Rainbow Road. Surprisingly to no one, Rainbow Road has got a bit of a glow up in a way many may not like. There's a 30-second timer now. With this timer, there are tolling orbs all the way down from the top to the bottom of the roads that you can collect to gain more time. Keep hitting those while following the path like you normally do, and you shouldn't have too many issues getting through this little section. Once you get to the bottom, obviously take the elevator, go up, and on the way to the boss room, don't forget to go over here and pick up your second of the 2 collectibles in this dungeon. Once you got that, move on to kill Ekko, our final boss. Kill Ekko doesn't have an insane amount of damage and changes are very few, but I'm going to walk you through every little thing you need to do. Just like always, you're going to start by clearing the 3 locations in the room with the appropriate colors of motes, whether it be light or dark. DPS is where things are going to change just a small bit. There's going to be these extra knights you see in the arena. These knights drop motes. Obviously, just like the first encounter and just like everywhere else in this dungeon, you're going to need to pick up 5 motes and cleanse a plate. Now in this room, they're all going to be light, so don't worry about anything else. Just want to kill the knights, pick up the 5 motes, then there's going to be a plate on the outside of the arena that lets you dunk or cleanse the plate. Doing this will extend the damage phase. You'll see this text in the bottom left of your screen. Doing that will give you a few extra seconds. It's about 10 or 15 extra seconds for DPS, which is huge. You have the ability to do this twice, once at the beginning, once at the end, so don't forget to take advantage of this every single time. Other than the knights, nothing else really changes. The dark entropy is still the same. Stay close to the boss at all times, and just have a T-Crash Titan and a Geomag Arc Warlock. Those are fantastic for this encounter. Doing this, you'll be able to super at the start of damage and then also at the end of damage this way. The third should be, in my opinion, a Prismatic Celestial Nighthawk Hunter. The Hunter is going to do some chunk damage with the super, obviously, but it's going to also apply Radiant to the entire team because since we don't have a well of Radiance, we're going to be losing out on some damage. So the Radiant is going to be given to the entire team to increase our damage from Queenbreaker, which is the weapon we're going to be using here. And it also allows you to move from plate to plate and keep giving everybody Radiant. Having a backup sniper is recommended for taking out the taken enemies from a distance and to follow up for when you run out of ammo with your Queenbreaker, because you definitely will. Optimize, you can definitely one phase this boss, but even if you are not optimized or if someone dies or whatever, this is a very easy boss to 2-phase and comfortably 2-phase. Once you've done the first phase, you really don't need to worry about ammo. It's all about just getting back to damage. Your supers probably just going to do most of the work for the end anyway, but even if it doesn't, it shouldn't take more than one more, partial phase to get them down easily. Out of the 3 dungeons, I think this is the most straightforward and probably the easiest of the 3 dungeons. This is probably one that I'll probably be farming when Lootapalooza week or whatever comes out as well. But regardless, if you have any issues getting this done or just want to make sure you have a very consistent, clean phase throughout this entire activity, feel free to come out to the Twitch stream. I'll be doing helps for the next 2 weeks, just like we have with the last 2 dungeons. As always, I do appreciate you so much for enjoying these videos, and hopefully they have been helping you get your Ultimatum Brights and the 9 dungeon clears completed. Thanks so much for watching this video, and as always, I will see you in the next one.